In Netflix's Behind Her Eyes, Louise, Simona Brown, left gets drawn into a tense, secretive psychosexual relationship with Adele, Hewson, and her husband, David. Photo, Netflix Behind Her Eyes, the new Netflix series based on the novel by Sarah Pinborough, is a psychological adultery thriller about a woman having an affair with her married boss. It's also about addiction, lucid dreaming, British classism, lies, and trauma. Mostly, though, Behind Her Eyes is a series about its ending. The pieces are set up with straightforward clarity. Simona Brown is the protagonist Louise, Tom Bateman is her boss David, Hewson plays David's wife, Adele, and Robert Aramayo plays Adele's friend Rob, who's seen in flashbacks to Adele's mysterious past. Once that's all in place, though, Behind Her Eyes surges inexorably toward its big thriller ending, which is so twisty and strange that it obliterates any other impression Behind Her Eyes might have left. That massive black hole of a final episode explains a lot about how the rest of Behind Her Eyes comes off. Its first episodes are oddly hollow. Louise, a black woman with a young son and a nice but distant ex-husband, has few distinctive qualities. She's a smooth surface, gliding into the grooves Behind Her Eyes has created for her. Here's Louise going to work, here's Louise being a nice mom to her kid, and here's Louise being lonely in a cookie-cutter, have-a-glass-of-wine-after-bedtime sort of way. She meets David, she's drawn to him, she eventually realizes that David's hidden a lot of his life from her, and then Louise gets drawn into a tense, secretive psychosexual relationship with David and Adele. Occasionally the series loops back to flashbacks of Adele's youth, where we meet Rob and learn more about Adele's tragic backstory. Often, the show is punctuated by surrealist dream sequences, where various members of this cursed, interlocking triad have trippy and disruptive dreams, more like hallucinations than garden-variety nightmares. But always, there's a sense that Behind Her Eyes is fundamentally shallow. It's not particularly invested in who Louise or David are, and it's not all that interested in Rob either. The show's primary focus is on Adele, who swings between mistreated wife and dangerous monster depending on which secrets have most recently been revealed. Even for Adele, though, the core quality is still that she's an enigma. It's like a drama being played out with figures shaped and then pushed into the right sequence of moves just to see if the whole thing could work, and work here is defined as can carry the whole thing well enough until it gets to the end. Seeing the end does help explain the shallowness and heady ungrounded slickness of the previous 5 episodes. The empty characterization isn't egregious, but it seems like an apparatus that's been built around some hidden central engine the show doesn't want to reveal.